The rabbit and myself are going to be in the shot at the same time, all the way through. So I've got to be focused on that rabbit all the way through the shot.
Come on, Eddie. You're my only hope.
Open up in the name of the law.
How'd you do that? Because you hold your hand up like that and focus on it, then take it away. Immediately your eyes open up to focus, and it's obvious that you're not focused.
What are we gonna do?
What's all this we stuff? They just want the rabbit.
You can't lose sight of the fact that the thing that makes the animation interaction work is his side of the performance. It's him believing that the rabbit is really there. All the special effects in the world wouldn't work without his performance.
Remember, you never saw me.
Get out of there!
When he picks the rabbit up, you can feel 60 pounds of weight in his hand, even though there's nothing there. And the way in which he is focused on a place in space, there's never any doubt that he's got that rabbit right there in his hand. And, you know, he'll turn away and he'll talk and he'll turn back to the rabbit, and he still finds exactly the same place in space every time. So whatever it was some particular thing that he knew how to do, but really nobody else could do.
We're supposed to be hiding. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? You're the only person in the theater that isn't laughing. Is there nothing that can permeate your impervious puss?
Well, every time we saw dailies, it was like watching an Invisible Man movie because, you know, you had this actor looking at nothing and a voice coming from off camera in every single shot.
A tune killed my brother.
A tune? No.
That's right, a tune.
We had actors, real actors, not just the script supervisor or stand-ins, but we cast American actors in London to be the voices, and they would be there, and they would give us real-time, you know, full performances.
Roger, say something.
Look, stars. Ready when you are, Raoul. Ooh.
Bob Hoskins and I would rehearse as though we were two actors in any movie. Then I would step off camera into this little place that they had sectioned off for me with my own mic and watch whatever happened. Because if Hoskins were to pull Roger, I would have to react to that. I came to call it transprojectional acting, so that whatever he was doing, I would watch it and I would project myself into that space. After a while, it just felt very natural.
The guy who was doing Roger, who was with me all the time, was Charlie Fleischer, who is completely nuts. He, like the first day, he insisted on a costume. He said, "Charlie, you're a voice." And if I said anything about your character, no, but, you know.
I'm a rabbit. 3 years of acting school, and I'm a rabbit. Shakespeare, and I'm a rabbit. You figure it out.
They had made Roger's clothes up to fit Charlie, and Charlie, to be in character, wore Roger's clothes. And I thought to myself, if they think I'm wearing a diaper, they've got another thing coming. There's no way I'm walking around on a set with a diaper on.
Well, I've just approached this like I would approach any role. I don't consider this to be a voiceover. If anything, it had to be categorized. It's off-camera acting. I'm just there doing it. I prepare in the same way I would prepare for any role. I learn my lines. Just a minute, please. I'm doing an interview.
Early in the shoot, we broke for lunch and we all went to the commissary at the studio. And Charlie went in wearing his rabbit outfit. And we overheard a couple of the guys in the commissary going, "Geez, did you get a load of that Roger Rabbit movie? That's going to be awful. Did you see the rabbit?" They were looking at Charlie going, "Oh, God, who's going to want to go see that?"
So anyway, he's sort of over there, and I'm doing the scene here, and he's doing the voice there. And we're doing this really technically very difficult thing, and he starts improvising.
Please, Raoul, I can give you stars. Just toss the refrigerator on my head one more time.
Roger.
In most instances, Charlie re-recorded the voice of the rabbit in Roger, in addition to the other voices he did. But it was still used as a guide track. And in most cases, when we turned the shot over, that guide track that was shot on the day was used as a guide track for animating.
Wouldn't you know? Locked.
Well, in every single shot in the film, if there was physical interaction that occurred on the set, whether minor, bumping something that caused it to move, or he ran through a window creating the shape of a perfect rabbit blasting out of a room, In any of those instances, the physical effects team had to create devices that mimicked what it would be like if a cartoon character had in fact been in the real room and caused something to happen.
I love to raise the pain. Believe me, it's no strain. It feels so great to scratch your plate and look at me. No pain, no pain, no pain, no pain. Bob!
Bob Zemeckis' initial vision on this picture was to take cartoons and bring them into the real world. To absolutely make you think that they believe and are walking around with you. So we had many meetings on where we would draw the line of where a cartoon ends and the real world starts. And it doesn't become real practical or funny unless they interact with something, unless they pick something up or touch something or show that they actually are doing the same things that you are. When you see doors opening and cushions depressing and they have guns and all kinds of things, the interactivity of the cartoons and the real world was like the whole key to making the movie work.
I tell you, Valiant, the whole thing stinks like yesterday's diapers. Look at this.
So there was a lot of talk about how do we get the props to move in a more realistic way. And so there were a couple of key moments. Baby Herman's cigar, for instance, was something that he always had, and we figured he would always gesture with it.
I've been trying to make him quit, but he just won't listen to me.
So George Gibbs had built a pretty sophisticated rig, which was exactly the same length as Baby Herman's arm, and it would go off to a controller off to the side where a human using his own arm would manipulate the small one.
Well, this system was developed because, as you can see, you've got 6 degrees of movement, and there's only 6 degrees of movement in anything. It looks a bit sort of crude with all these wires and motors showing, but of course when Baby Herman is drawn in, all this becomes covered behind the actual cartoon, so all we'll actually see is our cigar.
I just figured since you were the one who got my pal in trouble, you might want to help get him out. I can pay you.
For us at the time, we were looking for as much as possible how to get the real world connected with the animated world, and moving the props was key, and also key was having it done by puppeteers, because the puppeteers are used to creating the illusion of life out of unreal objects.
Well, originally I was asked in just to look at the octopus bartender scene. The animators didn't want to have mechanical rigs because they wanted the arms to be constantly moving and flowing. So they didn't want to have to paint out mechanical rigs. So they wanted an invisible man technique of moving all the octopus's objects around, like the shaker and the bar cloth, and pouring the martinis.
I mean, it was a surreal experience to watch the Ink and Paint Club in action without any tunes and just all these objects moving all over the place, you know, that represented cartoon characters.
Does anybody understand what this duck is saying?
And it was a very difficult sequence to turn over to the animators because it was hard to spot every single interactive device that Bob designed on the day and had going, but it was really quite something to try to recreate that in your mind later, you know, when you went to animate it.
Shooting the live action part of this movie, as difficult as it was really enjoyable because it was working with a sensational crew of craftsmen and great actors.
It was the longest movie I'd ever worked on. I mean, we had a year of post-production where we were animating and doing ILM stuff. And remember, all of this was done by hand. All of the characters in the movie are drawn by hand. There's not a computer shot in this movie.